Okay, so this image here pretty much tells you, you know, all the setups that happened just in today's kind of session. All right. So once we based on the 50 EMA, so I have the signal up here. So we're trading below the 50 EMA T2 short signal. It has been T2 short signal ride since the cross happened after, once we traded this engulfing and rejection bar on the 60. All right, just sideways base. All right, you can go to the 4-hour chart as well. This was a 4-hour range with a doji break as well. Okay, so this whole thing right here, you have to be aware that we're basing on the 50 EMA. So right in a nutshell, and again, this comes from understanding that we did have a reversal bar via the higher time frame as well. Okay, and we traded inside of that bar on Friday, and here we are Monday, new week, and we haven't really broke above any type of 4-hour structure level. Okay, so you almost have to keep this in mind always. Okay, and then we're starting to break below that doji pricing on Wednesday. Okay, keeping in mind this 4-hour range here. But when you go to the 30-minute chart, and again, my strategy is based on 4-hour, we have 60-minute rejection. If I go to the 60-minute, you'll see rejection wick on this. But we also have 30-minute close, and it's all in that T1E territory against Thursday's doji after Friday's range as well. Okay, and we actually had T1E failure early this morning as well. Then we based, and then here we go again, T1E territory, never broke above, no new 4-hour structure. Again, my strategy is based off the 50 EMA, T1E approaching 3 to 6, not crossed, but the next thing that we have here is the cross down, T1C cross down. Okay, and we started to break that 4-hour structure as well. So then what you'll see is T1C already crossed, now it crossed below the 8, the 3 and the 6 crosses below the 8 4-hour trend. All right, the 8 SMA on the 30-minute chart is 4-hour trend, 240, okay? So that purple line, notice that my color code for 4 hours is purple. That's why you have 4-hour trend down, okay? Once that cross signal comes in, it enters T2 in your job, okay? It crossed down below 50 EMA, so it's a short sell signal. Your job is to sell rally, buy the cover dip. So I just went over the type of trader where you sell rallies, buy dips, sell rallies, buy dips. This is down signal, so you have to sell rallies, buy the cover dips, sell rallies, buy the cover the dips. And you know, once that goes, okay, you should not have a reversal up until the next WMD level if you're going to get momentum. Okay, you don't know you're going to get momentum until you actually trade it. Okay, so here I am. Here's my executions. Okay, so New York session. All right, this signal came in about 5:30 a.m. Okay. Room's not open yet. It's London time. All right, New York's not there yet. I'm New York based. All right, so I missed that signal cross up here, but all the rallies, you know, you could be selling what I call math, moving average fan. You could sell inside of these. All right, it was just high momentum. You had a couple of sell entries. All right, and we didn't have outside the Bollinger Bands until all the way down here at the 57, where I have the WMD pricing. Okay, so here I am. Okay, so that once that crossed down here. And then you'll see here the T2, crossed into a T2. You just have to go for that ride, okay? Because in this cycle, we already have a basing. 4-hour should continue to the next 4-hour level, which also was that target price for that daily doji pricing at 23.64 today, which hit and overshot, which I kind of expected, okay? Because we didn't have exhaustion until outside of the Bollinger Band below the 57s, okay? So here I started to leg in around the 55s. You can see my beta enters on the extension going for the next signal. T3B at or near the WMD outside of the 60-minute Bollinger extension entry because at the time and price, I missed the T2 signal and ride down, okay? I was actually trying to sell short, but it was high momentum and it took me down all the way down here. So I couldn't really sell short anymore. The trade was buy to enter long, okay? And I had to make sure that I was extended entries on that. And then as you can see, it came back from that exhaustion price, came back in to actually the T2. So we're actually battling a T3B, okay, reversal versus a T2, which is continuation for the current trend, okay? Now, I will always say, in my room, I always talk about you're always gonna be battling one trend versus the other. Our job as a trader is to find out which trend is stronger before it happens, okay? So I don't know if this is actually going to be a reversal price, okay, or going to be the low of the day and actually reverse, okay? But I don't need to know that for right now because right now the T3B extension did provide a retracement to where T2 should re-engage, because right now T2 is still working out. Notice I don't have a cross, okay? So the T3B is actually working out, at least for a bounce for right now. But next thing would be T4, okay, which would be the 3 and the 6 crossing back over the 8, targeting the 50 EMA. But I have this over here, more data, reversal. We have not really reversed yet. We haven't reversed, okay? You could see even right now, because that would happen over here, probably at some type of basing after the cycle goes back down lower, okay? So T2 is still riding. T2 is still riding. So you see where I bought to cover, okay, bought to enter, okay? This could actually be where you could buy to cover as well from T2 shorts or T1C cross up here, from here to there, okay? So here I am, all right, already liquidated most of this trade, and look at how extended it's coming back down into this. So I will actually buy more down to 40. So we'll see if I can even get another bounce out of this. Now notice my 50s, I sold at 60s, sold at 70s, and hit 72. So I liquidated a good part of this trade anyways. Now this is a reversal. This is a reversal, T3B reversal at this time in price. Okay, so I have to take profit accordingly. And where I'm entering, I need to be at least exiting where the next, or current, in this case, in this scenario, would be re-engagement short, which I did. Okay, now sometimes in my room, I'll be looking at the T3B reversal, and other members would even be, and when this thing grows, and when a lot more people understand this, okay, people will probably be selling short to enter here. But that's the cool thing about this, is that that's great, because that tells me that we're seeing the market and understanding current trends in the market. All right, and just understanding that, okay, it may not be the ultimate reversal for the day, because if I go back to the higher time frames, all right, we're in engulfing territory to the downside. Okay, so starting off this week, all right, we do have just a engulfing bar finally breaking below last Thursday's kind of reversal bar. All right, but notice we're still in the context of an uptrend. Typically for a major short, I would typically want a weekly bar setup, which we don't really have. But for the day trade, you can almost play things both ways if kind of you know what you're doing. I guess that's the point that I'm trying to make. Okay, so even with that little leg down here, it's not over yet. This is still setting up for extension price model. All right, and since I held long, let's see if we're still outside of the Bollinger Band. I'm letting this go down to potentially 40 for the day. Right now it's 11:09 a.m. Eastern New York time, Eastern Standard. So I could have easily liquidated and got short up in those MAs as well. So I will say that, all right? But since I remained long, I'll probably just continue the process with extension entries and playing the bounce up here, all right? Because we're still on the higher time frame trend, all right? We're still up, okay? But you can see we still have not had the cycle process for a real reversal, okay? Because you typically want to see, and this would probably need a 4-hour bar out of here, okay? Because this whole strategy here is based on 4-hour. Okay, so real quick, let me just slow down a little bit. And since this cross came in, it was sell rallies, buy to cover dips, sell rallies, buy to cover dips, okay? Up until exhaustion price, where you could potentially liquidate your shorts and then potentially buy to even enter if you want to scalp that, or just hold your shorts, and you could have re-engaged on T2 ride right here, which is still kind of working. Both sides are working, and that's the thing about mostly my day trading room, is that you'll have basically one strategy, all right. But the cool thing about this is you'll be able to figure out based on higher time frames kind of which one you want to engage, all right. And in most cases, all right, if the market plays nice, I guess, because the market has to kind of provide, we have an edge, okay? My edge is following strategy based on high time frames with execution on extension model or compression, meaning exhaustion or pullback, okay? And so my edge comes in. But if you're patient with it, you can either re-engage the short, or again, chip off the reversal. Be careful with chipping off reversals. You have to kind of know what you're doing a little bit more. And that probably takes a lot more, because it's a counter trend trade / scenario. So just be careful with that. But you'll learn more and more about it. The key that the point that I'm trying to make, the key takeaway is that having a strategy and understanding how to enter and exit via that strategy consistently over and over again, and realizing either you're going to be counter trend or you're going to be riding the with trend. And my strategy here, it's not the best strategy on the planet, okay? It's not, all it's trying to do is control your exposure for drops and rallies, drops and rallies, drops and rallies, all right? And this is, all these moving averages are structured, okay? All these moving averages are structured off of 4 hour, okay? And I use the 30-minute and the 5-minute to execute via the higher time frame structure. Okay, so I had a member who left right now. Okay, he was looking at, he didn't want to chip off the T3B reversal, so he's waiting for T2 re-engagement inside of what I call math, moving average fan, and he came right in, tested 4 hour price model trend that I use, all right, and bam, slapped right back down. Okay, so I'm giving back some, because since I'm reversal T3B, okay, came right in, but I sold out on 4 hours. So where I was entering to buy to enter, okay, because I was flat, I missed the short, I had to go long. I have to make sure that I'm selling where I would sell short for a short re-engagement, okay? Now I could easily reverse right here, sold short, surplused my short, or took all my longs and re-engaged the short here, and I would have been also catching the long and short. Sometimes I do that, all right? It's okay, we have a new member in here, so I'll explain. And it's okay. I'll still just, I'll go for the harder trade and explain the harder trade, because the T3B reversal here is the harder trade, all right? The T2 re-engagement is easier. It came right into my bands, okay, and dropped right back down, okay? But notice my profit taking all the way up from catching the exhaustion entry down here. Now it's coming back down into exhaustion entry. But notice how every time I'm trying to chip off counter, all right, look at the daily bar painting, all right, it's a very nasty, ugly bar, at least for right now, not closed yet, and we're trading below that higher time frame structure, okay? But now we're not doing any damage on the weekly chart, okay? We're not doing that much damage, we're just coming back to last week's mid-price, all right? And also, let me take a look at the 4 hour. We did close this bar 4 hour off this range, obviously red. Now check this out though. This has 1 hour and 45 minutes to go to close this bar. What's the high? The high of this is 23.74. Notice how I mentioned that this 4 hour, this whole strategy is based on 4 hour, right? Notice the high 4 hour bar is 23.73, 74, whatever, depending on spread. But check this out. This is where I sold. All right, if I'm going against the 4 hour trend, all right, I better be selling a top rally, right? I didn't know this was going to be the high there. Okay, you don't know that, but this is what I'm saying. It never really gave a 4 hour trigger reverse, because a 4 hour trigger reverse comes on a T4, which I didn't really explain just yet. But we're still in T3B exhaustion territory, so we have yet to find a bottom. Make sense? All right. Now I just filled another 45. I just filled 45. Okay. So I'm exhausted again, coming back down into this level. I'm giving this down into the 40 price. All right. Like I just said, I am going for the harder trade. The easier trade was just to wait for T2 engagement, where I actually sold to take profit, but I could easily sold short to enter this as well, where I would be buying the cover down here. Okay. So I just bought to enter since I remained on the long side. All right. Now notice a profit target came in, so 45 is already up a little bit. Now this is counter trend. If I didn't want to wait for another engagement up here, I can potentially chip off this. All right. I just want to make sure that this is outside of my BB, which it is, and I'm giving this all the way down to 40. We're still in that exhausted price level. I see 60-minute 40 price point right here. All right, so there's going to be a time where I'll just stop this. I'm in a profitable day in the euro and the yen today, so no big deal. All right, I'm just going for the counter trend T3B. But I will say the T2 has just been riding all morning and has been since price point of 24. Call it 24.04. Let's just call it even 24. All right, because I'm not Mr. Hindsight guy about exact pricing. All right, because it's typically a zone. All right, so I'll give this down to 40, no big deal. In fact, I'll even throw another order down down there. Now keep in mind, for our, look at this rejection doji that we have as well, okay? Now my extension order, okay, came back in, because when I took entry, it's outside the BB, just like it is right now, all right? Took the bounce and make sure that I sold appropriately up here, all right? But you can see the rejection that we got off 60 as well on that close. And notice where I took profit, it was back inside of my Bollinger Band. So extension entry, compression, or pullback exit, okay? But this was a trend re-engagement. So I'm fighting trend, okay? Clearly, I'm fighting the trend. But I'm doing it via a systematic approach, okay? And understanding that I'm counter trend and not trying to pick off a bottom just by trading what I see in front of my face, kind of, okay? But let me put this order in 40. This will be my last leg in on this, okay, just based on it, all right? Now on time and price extension model, it needs to be red. And it needs to bleed. There goes the target already. Okay? Bang. Just like that. All right? Just like that. All right, this is what I say. So there goes along. All right? Whoa. This must be some news. Nice. So I just TP'd that. And there you go. So, and this is what I was saying as well. Put another TP in there. This was what I was saying as well. If you sold short up here, your profit targets are going to be if your compression entry, pullback entry to follow our current trend, okay, you need to be buying the cover on those extensions lower as well. All right. So no matter what, whether you're entering or exiting, so exposure already took off. So that order just filled out at 12 pips, guys, 42. All right, so 42 to 55, okay? 42, oh, sorry, 44, guys, 44. To 55, so 11 pips, sorry about that. All right, so, and yeah, keep in mind, so you see how I always have orders legged out as well. I'm long UJ, and this thing's cranking out for me as well. So I can move stop to break even at this point. So let me take a pause on the euro just real quick. Let me head over to the yen because I didn't talk about the yen as well. I just wanted to go into strategy a little bit. So I'm not just talking or trading without kind of explaining everything. So just how that extension, so when you're doing it, that extension entry already hit. Let me take profit on this first. So my size on EU is very small right now, okay? Because I TP'd on majority of this. All right, just went down to 40. I didn't plug that order in at 40. Probably could have took a little bit of another bounce there. All right, but we are getting some breakout. And I don't want to be fighting trend all day, right? So I probably have about 10% of size on that euro. All right, I'll get back to that. Let me just take care of business here on UJ. So these are the execution charts if you haven't guessed already. All right, so I've been working on UJ long since 81. So let me just hit market on this because obviously this is overshoot. We're trading out of the BBs. Okay, so exhaustion. Let me just take some TPs on this. So good trading day, I guess. It would have been a lot easier, and I can move my stop to break even at this point. All right, because I'm long 80, and I've been long. I even took an order at 70 down here, mid range. All right, and we got a move out. All right, now this was a T4. Okay, this was a T4 counter trend. All right. Now that euro's trading, well, it's only trading 42. It's no big deal. Liquidated. Have small, about a little bit more, a little less off. So I have this on. Let me move my stop to break even on this. Okay, so I actually have, originally when I was accumulating this trade, I had my stop lower, okay? Came down, entered me some more long in here, I'm not going to go over the strategy in this, all right? Just went over some in the euro, all right? TP, 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 and then we got overshoot, and then I just TP. Now, I chilled my stop. Once I got this fulfillment target met up here, and I started to liquidate some, I moved my stop up to this point after this happened, okay? And now I can just move my stop up to break even at this point, right? All right, day trading strategy. So you'll see that line move from down here up here, okay? Just hit. And keep in mind, I had orders out to TP even before this break, and I just hit market up here right now on this exhaustion, all right? So I'm actually just going to throw in an ultimate TP in this. Go to the higher time frames. You have 4-hour fulfillment at 33. So I'm sure they're gunning for potentially 30s. All right. So I'll put my target at 24 for right now. All right, TP out. Stops at break even, and I already liquidated, you know, a good part of this trade. All right, it's still counter trend on the higher time frame on yen. All right, stop to break even. Entries, 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 buys, take profit. You see that little green dot right there? That's a TP. Okay, these little red dots or red arrows are filled sells from being long. I'm long 108.81. Okay, so stop to break even. Profits are being met. So let me just put an ultimate target here. Call it 109.24. They're probably targeting the 30s. All right, I'll just move that up a little bit. We'll call it, let's just do right under 30. We'll call it 28. So this is either just going to hit target or stop to break even. But keep in mind, I already targeted out 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 5th target that I just kind of hit, scaling out, right? And that's it, guys. All right. So you'll see a target met or break or above break even. But again, already liquidated. I had a nice entry at 70. Doesn't always happen that nicely. Okay. You'll see me miss some orders in here as well. So it's just one of those days that filled me nicely. Seeing the market decent. Just following the strategy in a way. This one was a little bit trickier because it's basing on a T4. Very hard trade out of this basing, okay? There's also been times where I got slapped out of range as well. All right, so I didn't chunk that, I didn't fill that 40. So let's just go back to the euro. Wow, so as I was actually speaking about it, another cycle happened already. Well, I was a part of it. That's why I planned my entries. But that's kind of cool how it happened very quickly, because over here, I did the same thing, just following the same model, right? And, you know, it took some time. You know, now I'm down a little bit on this last little order that I have here. You know, this order is not going to do that much damage as I took profit. So, you know, if I got filled down here, I had a decent sized order down here, and it TP'd already. But, you know, what time is it? It's 11:25, right? I have about 10% left on this trade here. And, you know, this is down, of course. But notice, like, all my other orders, right, fighting the trend, because I TP'd appropriately where I should be engaging the short, I just made it a harder day for myself, all right? But when I was entering down here, I had a choice to either wait for a T4 engagement, which happened here, but I basically was chipping from here to here anyways, and even chipped on a 40 to whatever it was, 50, well, I can bring it up right here, to 55 here. So, you know, I've been getting the movement. Okay, instead of this move from here to here, I've been getting the movement from here and a little bit here, so I've been just making it harder, chipping against counter trend. This is what I'm saying, you know, I'm just making it harder for myself in a way, but I know what I'm doing, of course. You know, hindsight, you could say, oh, well, you could have flipped short here, which I could, and sometimes I'll do that. I think last week I did that. I was just hitting this long, short, long, short. But, you know, went into kind of some strategy talk, which is always good as well. As we have guy in here. All right, so I'm going to take a quick break. All right, again, yen is good. Okay, I'm down. Yen is good. Good trade. All right, and I am down about whatever that is. The difference. What is that? Yeah, it looks like 17 pips, right? Yeah, on this, but very small order. All right, still legged out. So I might have to just cut this, but I'll probably just have to be a little bit more flexible on my. I'm going against it. All right, I'm going against trend. This is clearly. This is clearly continuation on that pull. All right, so let me just do this. So I never get scared out of anything. Okay, I never get scared out of anything anymore in my career. Really, keep in mind that this is because of my TPing process, I'm okay in this trade. And I can explain about getting another leg down. All right. 29. Because now it's just getting another extension, all right? But again, I don't want to sit here all day going counter trend, right? Let me see. So this 60-minute level actually goes down to 29. All right, so 29, T3B exhaustion, and all that did was dip right into what I was looking at anyways. All right, now notice how I wrote up here, even though it's at T3B, all right, typically I like T3B, so 29 is going to be where I'm just done out, right, just completely done with the T3B. Notice via my signal, so I usually have the signal laid out up here. Let me put this like this so maybe you all can see and read. I was still in exhaustion territory, so I'm not stressing it at all. I don't stress about things in my trading career at this point. But below 50 MA, T2 short signal, okay, which has been since the T1C up here, all the way up, I already went over that, right? T3B lower, right? So we're at that exhaustion. T3B stands for Bollinger Band, okay? It's the fourth cycle, all right? So it's a reversal, and then not the best WMD. Notice how I say not the best WMD. So it's not the best higher time frame level for a kind of good, crazy reversal, right? So it's not the best, but it did provide yield. Okay, it did provide yield, and it provided yield, and we're even above. Even if I put 40s, I'd be up 6. But no big deal. I'm chipping off counter trend. That's not the best place to be. All right, but it did yield. If I was exhaustion entries here, as long as I am back to mean or pullback exiting, I should be okay because that's going to be the re-engagement. All right, so it's not the best WMD because the reversals. And that's why I have right here, T3B at or near WMD outside of the Bollinger Band. That's going to happen when you have the higher time frames with a nice higher time frame level when it's slapping right into the higher time frame level. So we don't really have, when I have to go and find something on the 60, which I do not recommend doing. I do not recommend doing that, okay? Because at the time in price over here, I actually did have a monthly retest price down there at the 50s, okay? But again, that was hours ago, okay, 9 Eastern, 2 hours ago. Things changed already, all right? Things already, from that point, they're already rebalanced out, did another phase, all right? Did another leg, all right? And it was another recycling of a T3B, all right? So you have to know the ins and outs, just like how I was drawing earlier this morning about what type of trader I am. I just don't care where it's going to go, okay? I just want it, markets look like this, like I just mentioned. I'm going to take a quick break after this. All right, I don't care where it's going to go. You either have a choice to get on the current trend, all right, or wait for something for a reversal. Now, in my experience, most people can't identify proper price points for reversals, and they don't know how to trade around them. All right, so even though you had that big slap in here, we're still wicking on that exhaustion price. All right, so I don't really care where it goes. all right? Here I am just fighting a T3B against that trend. But again, if I'm taking profits accordingly where I should be engaging the current trend, I should be okay, as long as the market's, there also is an element of the market kind of moving in and out, yielding things, yielding pips off of your edge, Because all this does right here, in short, is provide an edge of one thing happening over the other. And like I said earlier, as traders, we're just trying to figure out what's going to happen potentially next with a higher degree of accuracy, right? Higher probability. All right, and this got you covered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 scenarios based on one strategy with one trigger, and you just got to know the expansion model and compression model. Expansion, compression. All right, buying dips, selling rallies, buying dips. What side are you on? All right. So I am buying the dip counter trend, and I need to sell the rallies to get out in the structure of retracements that are mathematically calculated for this strategy. All right.